price of XRP is making even the maximum patient guys among you weak. If I say we are waiting for a bullish move, many of you may disagree. But if you look at my reasoning for this, you will understand what I am trying to illustrate. My reasoning for this is from both the technical analysis and from the fundamental aspects as of now. Here in the XLM chart, if you look at this, you will understand. Before the price broke above and started rallying, if you are looking at the RSI here, you can see a pattern forming, right? And look at the MACD. What was the pattern there? We broke above, we were slowly moving to the upside. Now, let's go back into the XRP chart. You see same stuff here, right? So, that's technical in a daily chart. And when you move on to shorter time frame, the shorter time frame charts let you see this thing, that it is a forming pattern. It's a continuation pattern which you can actually see. So in the shorter time frame charts, you get to see that it is forming a pattern. Okay, so what does that pattern mean for you? It's actually a continuation pattern which is bullish, and that's in the macro trend. So even XRP BTC is showing you a similar pattern. So you need to be able to understand what these patterns are about, and pattern trading at different time frames and understanding these different assets like these which I present to my patrons. It's not about one or two aspects. Whenever we go through a pattern for an asset, for wide variety of asset, because when you look at the crypto coins, you have a lot of them. You would be confused which of them would be going up soon. And that's why in our Patreon group, we try to stay updated, relevant in each and every day. You look at the dates, you'll understand how consistent we do things here, because we want all of our Patreons, now which is around 550 of them, to be trading well. Each day you get opportunity. Each day you see how our targets are being achieved. Now, how is this possible? Because you are able to understand, find out patterns and their measured moves and where you should be taking your profits, these becomes easy for you. Now, if you are a newbie coming in, looking at the charts and you're getting confused, it's okay. Go to different YouTubers who teach you how to do this, or go through books. Say, if you are looking at these candles, Japanese candlestick pattern analysis is a good book for you to start with. Just Google it, you will get the PDF version of that. Or Google it and then go to the Google images, you will be able to see a lot of different patterns and learn from it. Now, if you have difficulty in those, practice makes a man perfect. So you have to do that again and again and again. I've been doing this from last 5-6 years, from forex, commodities, then crypto. So now when I look at a chart, I understand the short-term pattern, long-term pattern as I zoom out, and then I inform my patrons about that. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Yes, technical analysis is important, but at the same time, for the macro perspective, the long term, you need to understand the fundamentals. So when you see this one from Brad Garlinghouse, it is a little bit of hype, but still it is the reality. When the previous administration was, now I don't know your political stance, but as we see in the news, we had a new president-elect, and then Brad Garlinghouse was coming out and, congratulating the new president-elect, and now this one in the new administration, right? And then you see this one from the World Economic Forum highlighting Global Future Council. Now, for me, there are some different stuff which actually goes into my mind when I look at this web address here, say GFC on cryptocurrencies. So cryptocurrency was actually developed because of the GFC, not Global Future Council, but global financial crisis, the actual GFC back in 2008. After that was the Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency idea which popped out, and the reasoning for that was because of the banks doing things wrongly. Now they are still using GFC here and showing Global Future Council on cryptocurrencies. So who are in this council? You can see Catherine Coley here. At the same time, you can see Brad Garlinghouse here. You believe this or not? How many different crypto projects can have these fundamentals? You go through that 1,000-2,000 coins you see in the Coin Paprika or anyway, and then look at this. This is about the Global Future Council on Cryptocurrencies. It's not about the technology Ripple, the company. They're talking about the assets, cryptocurrencies. And you see Brad Garlinghouse here. Do you still believe it's a security? Do you still think it's going to be classified as a security by the new administration? And they are blind like the old one? No, I just think it's not made for the common man. You feel it like a conspiracy or not, but that's going to be the truth. In next 8 to 12 months, you will understand why we say this now. You look back like last 6 months and then look at the price action in the chart. You will understand how accurate we were in our picks. So now you have a taste of the fundamental, how it is moving as of now. Right? When you see this stuff, now this was actually sent to me. The World Economic Forum data was sent to me by James. So a big shout out to him. So when you go through this and understand the stuff, it's really fascinating because the Global Future Council on Cryptocurrencies will evaluate key challenges and opportunities within the space. So what is the one of the huge challenge right now? Stupid regulators who don't understand this technology. So what is the best thing? Awareness and education for them. That's actually ongoing. So, step by step, these stupids will have their lesson. They will learn. Instead of jumping above and enforcing an action, first they should learn what's happening, what the asset is about, how it is, meaning it's white paper, and then go and enforce if you still think it's a security. Whereas we had something bullshit right now. Anyway, and what it will take to achieve the key aims of cryptocurrencies. Now, different cryptocurrencies has different aims. So Ripple put this one in that company, I believe, because previously Ripple, the company, was saying don't brush every crypto assets with the same brush, and this is the same stuff. Not every cryptocurrency has the same aim. Each and everyone is looking at different use cases. Say for example, BTC says they are a payment asset, whereas it's not actually scalable. It doesn't have those fundamentals. Now, yeah, you can argue that it is a store of value and it is taking a chunk of gold market. Okay, but that's not a payment market, right? Now you look at XRP, which is a payment asset and which is being used by different organizations to execute payment. Look at US-Mexico corridor, look at Philippines, look at, there are a lot of different corridors active right now which use. Now, I'm personally a guy who send B, a Ripple partner, to send money home from Korea to India. So I understand how it tastes. You go to a bank, they take 6 to 8% and they take 2 to 3 days. You go to fintech with like Send B who are partnered with Ripple. You send the money now, you get the message alert in 5 minutes stating it already reached your bank account. Say you sent $1,000. Now this is just for you to understand the fundamental. You send $1,000, the banks will charge you $80 to $100. Ripple partner will charge you just $2.5 or $5 at the max if you want to receive that money instantly. So you see the difference? $80 to $100 versus $2.5 to $5. That's a huge disruption there. If you believe in this technology, you will understand why I stand firm on this asset, because that is without using digital asset. So once they start using XRP, the digital asset, they can even allow their customers for $1 or even $2.5 instant payment. That is uncompetable even for Western Union without using this asset. So as we move forward, you have to understand, yes, we do have a SEC lawsuit, but majority of the regulators around the world already made their decision on this asset. So for court, it's really easy. Say there is a case happening. Now just imagine, if you have that cognitive ability, just be with me on this. A court case is being run on. if the solicitor or the advocate can actually show the court that there was a similar case in another country, which is a reputable one, not one, you can take 2 or 3 nations. So for different nations like UK, Japan and others, this asset is not a security. When it is presented in front of a court and they understand like, okay, so for a major economy like UK or Japan or all other G7 and G20 markets where this is being operated, it's not acting as a security. Their regulators understand why it is not a security. But when it comes in through the SEC, for them, their eyes shows like this is a security pop-up, this is a security pop-up. They're becoming a robot of some, we don't know who, but for sure, this asset was operating from that country for a long time. What the hell were they doing all this time? So, say basic knowledge is if you are not enforcing something for 5 years or more, then you are kind of allowing it with your silence. So that's the common sense there, right? So the court will understand this. Now Ripple, the company, highlights this one again. Now previously we saw issuing stable coins on XRP ledger, and there was a question went towards David Schwartz. Okay, this is an opportunity, but do we see some kind of demand for that? And Ripple kind of come up with this tweet, and I feel like this is a response. As banks shift towards multi-asset future, understanding the importance of public blockchain networks. Now understand these are public blockchain networks, not the private blockchain networks like JPM network or some in which you'll have a digital asset which is in fiat. I'll say, because say you're moving money from dollar to JPM coin, which is pegged into dollar. So as Brad Garling has highlighted, what does that solve? Was there a problem to solve? Because if you are doing those payments from PayPal to PayPal, there was never a problem. Once you were trying to move your money from PayPal to Venmo, now you have a problem of interoperability, right? So you need a bridge asset to actually execute that. So these kind of stuff can be solved using what? With the ability of XRP Ledger. So if you want to use XRP Ledger, you're automatically going into using XRP, the asset. And that is the value. Now for the price, this for me is clear potential. I completely agree with that applied XRP, because you buy an asset when it is low in price and high in value, not the opposite. Majority are doing that right now. They are doing the opposite. Regulators will come and highlight, say, crypto is a risky asset class. I clearly understand that. Why? Because when majority of the assets are hitting all-time highs and newbies are flocking into the market, this happened many times before. If they are not aware of the technical analysis and how the markets work, they are going to lose their money. So they have to be on a cycle, right? They have to understand, stay educated, execute the trade, take profits. Now that is really important. If you are not taking profits, only putting money into this market, it may not be cool for you in medium to long run. That's like a year to 3 years. So you are in this to make money in this market cycle. That's just say 10 to 12 months in completion from here. So, if you learn this now for next 2-3 months or at least 5 months, you would be reaping benefits within a year. Now, this shows Bitcoin is moving as a safe haven asset. Now, let it be, but you have to understand when an asset is at all-time highs, double that of the all-time highs, most common sense for investors will say, okay, I'll buy low and I'll sell high, not buy high and sell low to make loss. You are in this to make profit. This one from Leonidas gives you another kind of a negative news, but not kind of a huge negative news. Shows Jed was not actually selling his XRP based on the lawsuits and all, but he starts to do that right now. So he wanted to kind of slow down the price of XRP. He was taking profits whenever he could. And right now he sees that the volume in the market is rising. So he can sell a big chunk. So when he sells 28.6 million XRP, that order is being executed into the market. So the supply in the market is increasing. So when he clicks that sell, how is it being executed? When you sell something, you need someone else in the market to buy. So the supply and demand works like that. So if the buyer was at the bottom, say you are trying to sell at 0.3, but it's not getting executed. Why? There is no buyers at 0.3. If the buyer is at 0.26 or 0.28, the order will be executed at that time. So you sell something, someone else buy at the end. So it's like you don't lose your money, someone else takes it away from you. You don't lose your profit, someone else takes it away from you. So if you want to take money, if you want to make money, you need to do that technical analysis and understand how the market is evolving. Say, Michael, send me this one which shows clear potential. Almost 100 million XRP shifted by Ripple in Bitfinex, Coinbase. Ripple, Bitfinex and Coinbase. So what's really happening here? When you read through this, you can understand that the way Lalit put these information there. So when these exchanges wire 28.4 million worth of XRP, there is something happening. And based on all of these fundamentals, which we just saw, it's clearly understandable that fundamentals are evolving. When the money is moving into the general crypto market, saying Bitcoin, you do have to understand they are buying Bitcoin. I agree, but in majority of the exchanges, investors think positively. They are here to make money. Now, why will I say that? For example, you enter into BTC or Ether. Cool. Now, in majority of the exchange, you have the option to buy BTC to XRP or any other altcoin. When BTC was at 20,000, if you're buying an asset, altcoin asset, which is undervalued at that time, you get okay, good chunk. But when the price of BTC has risen a lot, now they get more purchasing power to purchase more units of altcoins, which has not yet pumped right now. Instead, if you are looking at BTC and going to buy some asset which has already pumped so crazy from the bottom, say consider Ether. If they are going to buy BTC to Ether from its low of this market cycle was just around $85-86, and it's all the way around 1,200. So 10, 12, 15x of profit from the bottom. Now look at BTC, you will see something similar. 3,300 was the bottom of the market. We hit around 42,000, so that's 10, 12x. So you didn't actually increase your purchasing power in terms of BTC. So what will you do? You look at another asset which was at the bottom and which is still kind of at the bottom. So you maximize your purchase. So when you see guys moving into BTC in different assets, keep this in your mind because that's going to be really important for you when you look at the technical side of it. So now the technicals show you an indication that the price can slowly break above. Now you zoom in, this is a daily chart. You can see, yes, we have overhead resistance. The 200-day moving average will be acting as a resistance along with the trend line resistance. Then it's open towards 50-day moving average, which would be near 0.4. But we have a couple of wicks here and the close of the candle, which would again act as a resistance. So if you move in to a shorter time frame chart, this is what you see. Okay, this is daily. You go into a 4-hour chart and you see this. So if you want to measure that pattern, you can take from the top to the bottom here and then plot it here. So you would be mostly getting near this wick 0.36 because on a 4-hour chart, you will again get the 200-day moving average acting as a resistance from 0.32. Now, when we say all of this, you need to understand that when you go back into a weekly chart of this asset, it is still holding this trend line. When majority are saying this asset is not going anyway, I'm going to jump out of this asset. Do understand this trend of rising support line is active. We bursted 200% because that trend line was acting as a support and the 50-day moving average was supporting the price. Look at the price right now and say whether both of those technicals are relevant right now. Yes, they are. And look at that, the 200-day moving average is the only resistance there stopping us. But at the same time, the long-term resistance zone, which was active for a long time, is still above us. So if you are looking at this, you need to understand this was a support previously, turned into a resistance and right now acting as a resistance. So as we pass through this 0.34 and closes above is when you should be expecting that boom in XRP. But if you look at the general aspect in the technical analysis, you know, the rising patterns, trend line and all, when you go through this, what you understand on a macro level is different scenario. You look at this one, which shows you like a bullish triangle pattern. And how does it actually play out? It goes up with a slow initial rally, then move inside with a resistance slowing us down, and then increase with higher lows, then boom. Now in that area, you're not actually getting higher highs, but you're getting higher lows as an indication. Now come back to XRP chart. On a daily and weekly, you'll understand this is being played out. Now this one in weekly gives you clear indication of that, showing higher, lower low here, but turned from there, higher low, and again a higher low here. So if you're considering this three, those are higher lows, and this one a medium term range there, because it was being supported by the 50-day moving average. Here it broke below that, came back to test this support, and it tested that successfully. It bounced. Now where was that bounce restricted? At this resistance level. So if you are looking at the bounce just in the short to medium term, you are still looking at a 150% break above that level. So if you put that into numbers as 150%, you would be nearing to that previous high or just above that. Say 0.85 is what it shows you, but I'll say 0.78, 0.8 can be acting as a profit taking area or a resistance area. So if you are looking at this to take opportunity, do consider that in XRP. And if you want to get variety of assets, if you have a lot of different assets in your portfolio, and if you want these updates, you can look at the Patreon. The link is in the description. You can start from the basic tier from this month, because we are nearing the end of the month and you will be charged on 1st of every month. Guys, I definitely believe you received value for your time, and if you did, please do hit that like and subscribe button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.